Good morning. Today's show is going back to something that I'm so adamant about, and it's smoker discrimination, discrimination against people who use a legal product. And while there has been such good news coming from Europe, European governments and some United States state governments are scaling back their smoking bans and leaving it up to private citizens who own businesses, which is the way it should be anyway. If you own a bar or a restaurant, it should be up to you if you allow smoking indoors in your restaurant. There have been many restaurants over the years here in Lancaster that have done a non-smoking and smoking section the right way. We had a bar once that had a smoking section that was so far away, it was a completely opposite end of the building, that never would a smoker or a non-smoker ever meet or see each other or inhale one puff of a smoker's cigarette. And it worked. It did work. My husband and I used to go out to eat and sit in the smoking section because at that time we were both smokers. But when we would walk over to the non-smoking section, there wasn't a stream of smoke all over the place. It was fine. Nobody was complaining. Until all of a sudden they were. And the nanny government got involved. Now, federal government buildings, if they want to be non-smoking, hey, fine. But the federal government does not have the right to tell a private business owner who makes their livelihood off of people who smoke cigarettes indoors, like bars, like restaurants, that they have to throw good, honest, paying customers out into the cold for using a legal product and lose those people's business. And people said, oh, you smokers, you're still going to go out to eat. You're still going to hang out in bars. Guess what? My husband and I don't. And my husband quit smoking years ago to save money on life insurance, which, by the way, is what we're going to talk about today, about a new scam on smokers. But I wanted to start this show by saying this. Business owners need to own their own decisions. And I know for a fact that there are business owners out there who hate smoking, who have employees who work for them who hate smoking. And they wanted to go non-smoking, but they knew that if they went non-smoking and the bar that served kind of the same food down the street didn't go non-smoking, they were going to lose their smoking customers to the bar that allows smoking. I know that if I want to go hang out in a bar, there are one or two in Lancaster that still allow smoking inside. I'm going to those bars. I will not go hang out for long periods of time at a bar that I cannot smoke indoors. Enjoying my cocktail, playing some pool, throwing some darts. I want to smoke while I'm doing all those things. I don't want to have to say, oops, I know it's my turn, but I'm going to go have a cigarette. Nobody has fun when that happens. So many bar owners and restaurant owners didn't fight for their smoking customers because they felt that if smoking was banned everywhere, they could say to their customers, well, you know what? Not our fault. Wasn't us. The government made us do it. But in Europe, things are changing. In Europe, bar owners are going out of business because their smoking clients are coming in, buying a six-pack and going home so they can drink their beer and smoke. They're putting dartboards up in their homes, like my husband and I did. And we're playing darts at home because when I'm playing darts, I want to smoke while I'm playing darts. I stopped going to dart tournaments when the dart tournaments started banning smoking while you were playing a game, a tournament. I stopped going to the tournaments. And those people used to make a lot of money from me and my husband, the people who ran the dart tournaments, because they were always for a great charity. So we always gave money. We played the 50-50. We spend thousands of dollars. And the first time I went to a tournament where we were not allowed to smoke in any of the dart rooms, that was my last tournament. That was the last time they got one dime from me. I don't go out to bars to play pool anymore. I don't go out to bars to play darts anymore because I don't enjoy myself. And if I go to a restaurant where it takes a while for my meal to show up, damn do I want a cigarette. And it pisses me off that I can't have one. So let's remember that in Europe, they are going with the business owners. They're saying, these business owners are saying, we are losing our income, our livelihood, because of the smoking ban. So now the government is allowing the business owners to make that decision. And that's not a bad thing, by the way, because look, if you don't like smoking, and there's a sign on the front door, excuse me, of a bar that says, we allow smoking in this bar, then you just don't go in. I don't expect non-smokers to be forced to go into a smoky bar, but you're going to know that ahead of time. And I'd like to know why, for some reason, your rights trump my rights. No pun intended with the Trump analogy. Why do you have a right to walk into anywhere you feel like and be comfortable? But I, as a smoker, don't have a right to go anywhere and be comfortable. And this is bringing me to the point of this show, because I see commercials all the time on TV about this life insurance stuff. If you're such an age and over, you qualify for no health exam required. Now, let me tell you about health exams. If any of you out there, excuse me, if any of you out there want a really great health physical and you don't want to pay for it, apply for life insurance, or apply for disability insurance if you are one of the unlucky people like my husband who doesn't get disability insurance from his job. Go apply for something like that, and they will send a nurse to your house. And I'm going to tell you what, it will be the best physical exam you've ever had in your life, because they are looking for anything, any reason to deny you your claim, to deny you the policy. My God, they gave my husband an AIDS test. They gave him all kinds of STD tests, tested him for drugs, alcohol, all of his blood work. He had to supply blood work, everything, in order to qualify for life insurance and disability insurance, which, by the way, he was refused, which was wrong, because the only thing that was wrong with my husband was his cholesterol was borderline high, and his blood sugar was borderline high. He's not on medication. He's not on insulin. He's not sick. He lost 40 pounds and he's fine. But boy, they scared the shit out of us when they said, nope, can't give him disability insurance. He's going to be dead any minute or disabled any minute. But the thing that gets you is these insurance policies that say no physical exam required. Nope, you won't have to take a health physical. So I got this in the mail over the weekend. It is from 3A, which I am a member of, AAA. And it is for life insurance coverage, a $200,000 policy. Actually, I could get up to $300,000 policy. No health exam required, except there are 3 health questions. There are 3 questions on the form that you have to answer. And of course, the first one is, in the last 12 months, have you used nicotine in any form? And they're not just asking me. They also want to know if my spouse, someone I live with, and that's a new one, has used nicotine in the last 12 months. Here's the next question. There's 3 questions. In the past 3 years, have you received any treatment for or been diagnosed by a doctor as having heart trouble, cancer, stroke, lung disease, liver disease, kidney disease, AIDS, lupus, ALS, schizophrenia, or dementia? You or your spouse, by the way. Okay? And the third question, which I totally do not understand, and maybe one of you guys will hear this and explain it to me. In the past 12 months, have you had diagnostic testing performed or recommended by a doctor for an undiagnosed condition? I don't understand that. Because to me, that's asking, and it's again, member or spouse, it's kind of asking if I had a pap smear or a mammogram. Diagnostic testing for an undiagnosed condition. Well, every time a woman goes in for a mammogram, even if it's just your annual exam or whatever you do, you're going in, you're not diagnosed with anything. It's just you're going in to see if there's anything wrong with your breast. And what would it matter if my spouse had a prostate exam? What does that affect my eligibility for life insurance? I don't understand that, if I'm reading it correctly. There's another question that's kind of cut off. Is the insurance applied for intended to replace, discontinue, or change any existing insurance? Okay, again, that would be a no. So anyway, these are the questions they ask. Now, of course, based on the nicotine use alone, I will probably be disqualified. But here's the thing. There's a price range here. Now, if I am accepted, because I can answer no to the other two questions, because I have not had a pap smear or a mammogram in 3 or 4 years. So I can answer no to everything else. But here's the price differentiation. At my age, 50 to 54, I'm 53. If I apply for this insurance, if I were a non-smoker, it would be $49 a month. As a smoker, it's going to be $123 a month. It's a big difference, isn't it? Now, let's remember, I'm 53. The day I turn 55, the prices change. At 55, a non-smoker would pay $74, so it's going to go up about $25, from $49 to $74. But the smoker is going to be charged $181. It's going up $70. So, yeah, this is how smokers are getting discriminated against. And again, they don't ask me to take a health exam, but I almost wish, of course, this is going in the shredder, because I'm not applying for it. But the bottom line is, maybe I should take a physical exam. And then they can see how fucking healthy I am as a pack-a-day smoker, a pack-and-a-half-a-day smoker. And then see if they can deny me a good rate for life insurance, or disability insurance for that matter. Maybe they can see that I am on no prescription medication. That, knock on wood, I have no major health issues, and I'm 53 years old. I have only had one surgery my entire life, and that was for an ectopic pregnancy when I was 25 years old. Knock on wood. Maybe they should give me a health exam. And then maybe I should fucking sue them or fight them to say, what is it about me other than the fact that I use a legal product the way it's meant to be used? What is it about me that makes me not eligible to be part of your plan? What is it about me that makes you think that when I have friends 20 years younger than me who have had surgeries after surgeries, have had skin cancer and all kinds of issues, irritable bowel syndrome, they've had colon surgery, and they're in their 30s, and I'm sitting here 53 years old, smoking my cigarettes, drinking my wine, and I'm not even taking a prescription drug. And you're seriously going to tell me that I am unhealthy? That I am somehow going to be dead in so many years that you don't think I'm a good risk for your life insurance policy? Really? This is what pisses me off. People making assumptions about somebody based on one thing, cigarette use. And now this other thing, again, which I really want someone to explain to me. If there's any doctors out there, Paul, maybe you'll weigh in on this. Yeah, I don't get what it means if you've been to a doctor for some kind of diagnostic test for an undiagnosed illness. I don't get what that even means. But I'm sure it's going to hurt me somehow if I say yes. And the other question I have with this particular life insurance is, what do they care what my spouse does? Why are they asking if my spouse uses nicotine, or if my spouse has ever been diagnosed with AIDS or ALS or all these other things, or if my spouse has ever had a diagnostic test for an undiagnosed illness in the past 12 months? What does that have to do with anything? Because I'm the one whose life is being insured. I'm the one who, if I become disabled, is going to receive the income. Or my beneficiary is. And I don't even have to make my spouse my beneficiary, but of course I would. Again, why are they asking about my spouse's lifestyle in order to insure my life? I mean, if my spouse, again, I got to read this again. If my spouse has been treated for having heart trouble, how does that affect me? If my spouse has cancer, it's not contagious. Why would they refuse me life insurance because my spouse has ALS or lupus or kidney disease? None of those are contagious illnesses. Why do they care? But they're asking. And you know, they can't do these big, long forms anymore. They can't come into the house and draw your blood and make you pee in a cup to qualify for life insurance. And they advertise it. Oh, it's so easy. But with these questions, they have all they need without ever meeting you in person to deny you, to say, nope, we don't want to touch you. Without ever meeting you, without ever being in your home, without ever looking at you and seeing how healthy you are, just by the answers to those 3 questions that are so obscure, I am sure I will not only be denied this life insurance if I were going to apply for it, which I'm throwing it where it belongs, in the trash, but I would also be overcharged for it. Bullshit. Again, just like health insurance, you are not going to overcharge me for using a legal product the way it is meant to be used. The government makes sure that it stays legal. It's still legal to smoke a cigarette, at least in the privacy of your own home, for now. And over in Europe, it's even getting easier to go out to a bar and have a couple beers and throw some darts or play some pool with your buds, with your mates, and have a cigarette in public, inside, in a warm, nice, cozy pub in England, in France, in Germany. So you know what? Yeah, it's frustrating, very frustrating. And let's just remember what I said at the beginning of this show. The reason that the smoking ban took off like wildfire in this country is because of restaurant and bar owners who just hate smoking and wanted a reason to kick smokers outside. But they didn't want the reason to be them, because then their patrons would say, well, you don't want us, you don't want our money, we're going to go somewhere else where they want our money and they make us feel comfortable. So everybody waited till the government did it. And then they could just say, oh, government made us do it. These health questions and this bullshit that they're trying to get around to deny people life insurance to protect their families if something happens to them. I mean, if I'm killed in a car accident, it's not going to be because of smoking. It's not going to be because I had a pap smear last year. And yet they're going to say that, well, I don't have the right to leave my family with a little something because I was a smoker, because I had a pap smear or a mammogram, or my husband has a kidney stone. I mean, that's basically what this form said. And it annoys me. And it's something you all should think about. And I know there are some states right now who are looking at repealing their smoking bans, at least the ones that are forced by the government. And I hope that the United States does start having states that do that. I know I would not be offsetting by saying that if there is a state that repeals their smoking bans and allows smoking in bars and restaurants the way it used to be, I might move to that state. Give them my tax dollars. Give their bars and restaurants my business. Call me. I know New Hampshire's thinking about doing it. I like New Hampshire. It's a good state. In fact, I don't even think they have federal income tax, or they don't have sales tax or something. There's something really good about living in New Hampshire. So call me. You live in New Hampshire and you can go out to a bar and smoke a cigarette inside? Call me. I'd like to go to that bar. I'd like to come visit. That would be a good vacation. That's the show for today. That's the show for the week. Next week, I've got some great shows planned for you as well. We're going to be talking about some things that came across my desk that made me go, whoa, or wow, or as Hoda and Savannah say every morning now, what? Yeah, I got a little shock watching nightly news yesterday, so we're going to talk about that. I've got some shows that some viewers have given to me, so we're going to do that. And look, I want you all to have a very safe weekend. It's supposed to be 56 degrees on Friday and Saturday here in Lancaster. I think I'm going to go out in my bathing suit and get a tan. Love shows and grows. I love you all very much. Political Paula for now is out.